All right, do me a favor. Anyone who's joining, could you please let me know if the sound is better? And we'll get started. All right, good sound. Thank you very much. Anybody who's joining, just let me know that the sound's okay. My AirPods must be broken. I know the mic's not working too well. Cool. Awesome. All right, let's give everyone, what time is it? 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and we'll let everyone trickle in. And then I have some important stuff to cover with you guys today. Kevin, what's going on, man? Glad you're here. Dalton, what's going on, man? Good to see you guys. All right. All right. 2 more minutes and we'll get going. So I'm going to type in the chat what we're covering today. Okay. That I just popped into the chat what we're covering today. The #1 most profitable asset you can ever acquire. And if you guys are on this for your first time, these are typically 30 minutes or so. So I'll go over the question first, or not the question. In today's case, it'll just be more of like a lesson. And then if you guys have any questions, we can cover them at the end. So if you have any questions, you can pop them into the chat right now. And then at the end of the lesson, once I'm done talking, I'll answer your questions. Please make sure if you're going to ask some questions, though, make sure they're specific, right? If you ask me, how do I start a business? I'm not going to answer that. Please also make sure that you don't ask me any questions about the best website platform. Use any one you want, okay? It doesn't really matter. WordPress, Kartra, there's a new one called GrooveFunnels out. You guys, I'm answering that right now. I don't know the best website platform. We've been using ClickFunnels for years, which is not the cheapest option. So just pick which one is the best for your budget. They all pretty much, all these platforms, there's so many of them today. So you can use any one you want. I have someone in my accelerator program named Sam, and he just uses, I think Google has, when you sign up for a domain, Google has like a free website design platform they give you. So yeah, one of my students, Sam, he just uses that. And he does, around 7,000 a month or so. All right, so what time is it? 9:38. Okay. So I'm going to close down other windows here real quick so I don't get distracted. How do I close this? Oh, here we go. All right, so the question we're going to answer today, I think this is super important for me to cover. I was talking to one of my other students yesterday named Silvio, and this year's been interesting, right? This year's been very interesting. So when I first launched my accelerator program back at the February or March of this year, can't remember the exact month, Corona wasn't really, the COVID-19 wasn't really a thing yet, right? When it started to hit, there was a bunch of changes, right? A bunch of industries and businesses shut down. There's like a roller coaster of people losing clients and then getting other clients and then losing them again, not being able to get them results. And it's been an interesting year, right? And it's made me think about, when I was talking to Silvio yesterday, one of my students, it made me think about more so like the #1 most profitable asset you can ever acquire. It takes a while to build this, But if you are always focused on building this one thing, and whatever you do, whatever business you are or you're running, right? I can switch to any business I want and have this one thing, customers basically out of thin air. So this one thing, it's the most profitable asset you can ever acquire. It is a lifelong journey of building this thing, and it's going to change over time. But if you focus on building this thing and whatever you're doing, you will always be able to make money and make sales and get customers in whatever industry you're in. Okay. So I'm going to write down what this number one thing is, this asset that I'm talking about. Make sure this works. Okay. So this is the number one thing right here. Your audience, right? I don't know if you guys can see this. It just says your audience, right? Now, why is this the most profitable asset you can ever acquire, right? So this one thing right here, my audience, right? Which I didn't really start building until this year. I didn't really put too much focus into building an audience until this year. And since I've started building that, right? Like I've been building my audience on YouTube, on my Facebook group, my email lists. I've been building my audience across all those channels. And if you guys want to see an example of how I'm doing that, one of the strategies that I'm using to build all three at the same time, make sure you watch my most recent YouTube video. But why is this the most profitable asset you can ever acquire or build, right? Why is your audience so important? Well, I've been using my audience to help me get clients, help me launch new products. And I can launch like a new offering or a new product or a new business from scratch, which I recently did with a membership program called Tribe of Profits that I launched. I launched it from scratch and signed up 64 people on a $47 a month membership program from scratch. And I don't have the biggest audience. There's people out there like Alex Becker who have huge, massive audiences. You can make a lot of money from just a small audience of just, 1,000 people or so, right? I think there's only 2,700 people or so in my Facebook group. So if you focus on always building up your audience, right? Sharing content, sharing insights and tips and tricks, and building up, a Facebook group or a YouTube channel, or it could be as simple as an email list. If you don't want to build those other things, you don't want to be making videos, right? Or you can build all three if you want, right? But if you build up an audience, it's going to be so much easier for you to go out and get clients, to go out and get customers, to go out and launch new products, to go out and start new businesses, to create income out of thin air, right? Because people know you, and just like you guys are on this stream right now, a lot of you know me personally, whether you're in my programs or you bought my book or you've watched like all the videos on my channel, you feel like you know me, right? And I appreciate it, by the way. I appreciate all of you guys that have been watching and engaging with my content. But I've only been building up my audience for this year. I think I started it. If you look at my YouTube channel, my first video was at the end of January. And since then, I've been able to sell over 4,000 ebooks because of my audience. I've been able to sell on a new membership program I just launched 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was able to sign up 64 new people on a recurring membership. I was able to sign up 27 people into my accelerator program, which is my higher level program on the info product side. And then I was also able to generate $35,000 in agency deals on a brand new email marketing service offering, right? I just started that at the end of March. We pitched it to existing clients first who are on our email list and who are working with us on our LinkedIn service. And then we just recently closed our first client on cold traffic for $7.5K on our email marketing service. So when you build this up, right, when you build up your audience, not only can you go out and start new businesses and make money practically out of thin air and create new offerings, you are going to learn a lot about what to create, right? The reason I was able to create a membership program that had a solid launch and, accelerator program and a new service offering is because I had that audience. I can see the questions coming in. I can see the types of inquiries and things that people are struggling with, their problems, right? Their pain points. And I'm able to create better offerings and better solutions around those things, right? And it's very hard, especially right now, it's very difficult, as a lot of people are seeing, to go to a completely cold market, someone who doesn't know you for shit, basically, and turn them into a new client when you have zero case studies and zero social proof and zero testimonials while there's a global pandemic going on, right? People are tight with their money right now. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's definitely more difficult than it was before COVID-19, right? But if you have an audience, I'm so happy I built this up, because if I didn't build this up, my income would probably be, less than half of what it is right now. So when you build this audience up, it'll keep you afloat in great times, right? It'll help you thrive in great times. And in the tough times, difficult times, you'll still be able to create offerings and solutions that solve problems for your audience and for your market, and that can make you money, help you build your business and make more money in your business and in your life, of course. So that's a little tidbit, right? How do you create an audience? I'll have more videos on my YouTube channel around that in the future. But the main thing is you have to first get good at something or be passionate about something and want to learn more about that, right? And then when you start to learn more about that, you start to take action, which is why I have my ebook helping you guys take action and build your own drop servicing business or your own service-based business, is because you learn new skills. And when you learn new skills, then you can share it with people. And when you share it with people, you help them get a result. And that's how you build your audience, right? That's how you build a following of people, is you learn these new things, you implement it, you get results, you help other people get results, you empower other people in their business. And that's how you build this up, your audience, right? Is you're helping other people get a result. They appreciate that from you and they follow you as a result. And of course, they'll buy your products and your services in the future as they follow you and see more of your stuff, right? Okay. So yeah, that's what I wanted to cover today. This is the number one thing I've been focusing on for this year, is always everything I'm doing. You can see I'm building up my Facebook group, my email list, my YouTube channel. I'm putting consistent content every day and every week on my email list. I'm posting every day or sending an email every day. My YouTube channel, I'm doing two a week. I'm doing a video on Tuesday and a live stream like this on Thursday. And I'm also posting in my Facebook group. And guys, the great thing about this is not everything you post, like all the content, it doesn't need to be completely unique. And what I mean is, like, you don't want to go and rip people's stuff off, but when you post like a YouTube video, or you post, let's say you send an email out to your list, you can take that email, and you'll probably notice that I'm doing this, and you can repurpose that email for your Facebook group post, for a LinkedIn profile post, for another email, right? You could turn it into a video. So you can take one piece of content, and what I do is I'll write up one email, and I'll turn that one email into 5 different pieces of content, right? I'll post it on LinkedIn, I'll post it on my Facebook group, I'll create a YouTube video out of it, and then I'll also, actually that might just be 4 pieces of content. Oh, I'll also post it in my YouTube community tab, right? So you can see in the community tab of my channel, I posted it there as well. So I take one email, one piece of content, and I repurpose it across 4 other channels. And that's how you build an audience, right? Is you're consistent with providing value and content and insights. And that's how you do it. You show up every day or every week, you set a certain time, and you're consistent with it. It took me, what is it? July, 6 months to really do this, right? And it takes a while, but once you guys need to get the book, The Slight Edge. I tell all of my students and my clients to get the book, The Slight Edge. But over time, these little actions, these little videos you create, these little posts you create, it's going to slowly raise you up. Your income's going to slowly go up, and all of a sudden it's just going to go hockey stick straight up through the roof, right? And if I didn't start building my YouTube channel this year, and I didn't start building my Facebook group at the end of last year, and I didn't start building up my email list, I would not be anywhere close to where I am right now. I'd probably be struggling pretty tough, to be honest, because getting new agency clients has been tougher, more difficult than it has been before COVID-19 and all the crazy stuff hit. So I'll open it up for questions. That was a bit of a longer rant than I thought, but I'm passionate about this stuff. I think building an audience is one of the best things you can do. It's one of the best things that I've done. And I'm going to be tripling down on this, like at least for the next few years or so, is really focusing on expanding my audience and learning new things and implementing new things. And of course, passing that off to you guys and my students and my clients. So yeah, let's jump into the chat here. Who's got questions? Start popping them in. Game Republic says, can I drop service complete graphic design service, as graphic design is a good niche? Can I drop service complete graphic design service as graphic? I don't like design services to drop as any type of service to offer. That's just me personally, because the thing with any kind of design is every client has a different eye, right? They have a different eye for design. Client A might have a completely different taste than client B does for what their website looks like or what their images look like or their colors, right? I don't like that. I like services that can be easily systemized and that can be productized, meaning every client gets pretty much the same thing, right? It operates and sells like a product. So let's take my LinkedIn lead gen services, for example. There's a framework that we use for all the messaging that we create for clients. And every time a client signs on, we're able to use that framework to quickly create messaging for the new client, right? Those are the types of services that I like. Another example is like if you're doing like Facebook advertising or you're doing like Facebook lead generation with your Facebook ads. If you work with a specific niche or a specific industry and you develop some kind of system for generating leads with Facebook ads, or you work with a white label provider that has a system for generating leads in a specific niche, you can essentially copy and paste that across all your different clients, right? So let's say you are targeting the plumbing industry. Plumber A is going to get the same system as plumber B. They might just be in separate states or separate counties or cities. And you can take the exact same system, the exact same copy, and copy that to the next client, right? Those are the types of services that I like. Ones that can be duplicated and productized and sold to different clients pretty easily without having to do a lot of custom work. Kevin says, great advice. Definitely takes time to build a solid audience. How? Kevin, I just touched on that a little bit, but you're on the right track, Kevin. I see what you're doing with the Hotel Marketing Hub Facebook group. Really, the way to build an audience is you need to have some context, right? You need to have some kind of skill or something to share with that audience. If you have nothing to share with them, there's no reason for people to follow you. You got to give them a reason for them to follow you. So in your case, you're learning marketing, you're learning sales, you're learning lead generation. If you share that with the whole, whatever niche you're targeting, looks like you're targeting hotels, you might be known as the hotel marketing authority, right? If you can share consistent information with them. I think Facebook groups is an amazing platform to do that. An email list, another amazing platform to do that. YouTube, I love YouTube because it's kind of like planting seeds, right? When you create a YouTube video, it gets planted into the YouTube algorithm and you can get views for basically years, right? People can watch your videos years later. It has like a built-in SEO component to it, right? So you're not just sending out one email, for example, and the people will open it once and never see it again. If you post one video on YouTube, you can use that to generate traffic for years to come and drive traffic to your email list and your offers and your Facebook group and whatever you want to drive traffic to. Let's see. I'm going to go down the list here. Greven, any update on the Rolodex for the tribe? Yeah, Greven, that's going to be updated next week and that's going to be updated over time. You know, it's not going to be complete. I'm just going to add people that I either have used personally myself or that people that I trust and respect use. So I'll add that to the group with the next masterclass, which is coming, should be next Friday. Add convert. What's up, Silvio? Glad to see you on here, man. I was just talking about you about our conversation last night, and it made me think about this as a topic for today. Nalabra says, can drop servicing be really excluded of physically making calls to grow as a business? I don't know if I understand your question, Nalabra. I think what you're asking is, can you start a drop servicing business without making calls? You can. It's going to take you a lot longer, and it's going to be a lot harder to close a deal. You're probably going to have to sell some low ticket products, anywhere like $500 and under. It's hard to sell high ticket without making calls unless you have very strong marketing. Kevin says, what's the one key piece of advice that you would like to give for anyone who would like to build an audience? It's a good question. What's the one key piece of advice that you would give for anyone who would like to build an audience? Man, you got me stumped because I want to give you a lot of pieces of advice. I would say the one piece of advice is to become good at something, like learn a skill, and then plant your flag on the ground with one platform, right? Pick one platform to start with. So you can say, I want to be the hotel marketing authority, and I'm going to start on YouTube. That's the one piece of advice. I wouldn't say to start with all three. I have 3 platforms that I have running, but it's just because I know the flow of things from the YouTube channel to the Facebook group to my email list. But I would say to pick one of those platforms and pick an audience that you want to build around, like it could be a certain industry or a certain specialty, and just plant your flag in the ground and just start, continuing to learn your skill and learn your craft and providing value to that specific audience. I would love to know, I can't read your name. I would love to know what the first 10 steps are that need to be done to set up a stable business and drop servicing and make the first dollar. I have a video on this. It's called starting a business from scratch, I can't read your name. It's like in a different language, but go back on my channel and look for the video on starting a business from scratch. That's going to give you the 10 steps. I'm pretty sure it's exactly 10 steps too. Grivon says, great, thank you. Ismail says, what do you think about package service like building a funnel, for example? That can work. Yeah, that can definitely work. If you have like done for you funnels. Who does that I just saw? I think his name is Gustin Sun, Gusten. I just saw him promoting, it was like a funnel template. He's selling it for $37, and I'm pretty sure he upsells the people. If I had to take a wild guess, he upsells the people on a funnel building service. So yeah, it can definitely work. I would have it already like templatized and built out and specialized for a certain industry if you're going to do that. Oh, we got some good questions coming in here. It's going to make me think. Dalton asked, hey, Sean, you said pick one platform. Would you prioritize any of those platforms over another? Great question. For instance, would you consider LinkedIn as a better platform for a primarily B2B audience? Dalton, that is a fantastic question. Yes, the audience that you choose is very important for which platform you start with. So yeah, you want to ask yourself where they're hanging out. And for me, like the first platform that I really started building on that helped me get a lot of clients for my agency at Growth Response when I started back in 2017 was LinkedIn. And why did I pick LinkedIn? Well, it's because a lot of my audience, which is software as a service founders, yeah, they're heavily on LinkedIn. And my service was LinkedIn. So if you guys go back to my LinkedIn profile, you'll see me posting content like 2 times a week there for like 6 months or so. And that helped me score a lot of big time clients. So yeah, definitely start on the platform where your audience is or primarily hangs out. That being said, all the platforms can be effective, right? Like there are software as a service founders watching YouTube videos. There are software as a service founders in Facebook groups, right? There's SaaS, there's Facebook groups for SaaS founders, right? So they're on their email, right? So all these platforms can work. I would say it's a combination of where they're hanging out and then also what you feel most comfortable with. If you are comfortable with video, like you are a killer on camera, or you want to hone your skills, like in my case, I wasn't really a killer on camera, but I wanted to hone my skills because I know how powerful it is. And I know how big of an advantage it is because not a lot of people like to do video. So if you like to do video, like if you feel strong and confident doing that, you want to build your skills in doing video, YouTube's of course going to be your best place to start. If you want to work with like written content, it's going to be, email or LinkedIn. If you want a mixture of both, Facebook groups is great because you can do everything you want in Facebook groups. You can post videos, you can do lives, you can do photos, you can do text only. And you can also build your email list if you have questions when people join the group. Kind of like if people join my group, they get put into my email list if they opt in for the lead magnet. So Facebook groups would probably be my number one recommendation to start. That's where I started. If you're going to start your once you start building an actual audience, right? As far as posting content though to get clients, I would say to start on the platform where your audience is hanging out. So if your audience is B2B, start posting on LinkedIn if you're going to just post to get clients. All right, peeps, we have about, I'll give you guys 6 minutes and then we'll cut it off here. I got to get back to work. Kevin says, no worries, man. All good. Looking forward to chatting with you tomorrow. Marjan says, if you had to start all over again, would you delegate service delivery from day one or would you learn how to do it yourself? Ooh, this is a good one. It really depends. There are pros and cons to each. Like me personally, what I'm doing again, I'm not starting from scratch, but we're starting with the brand new service offering. And right now I'm doing it all myself. I'm not delegating the service delivery right now. So when I started Growth Response back in 2017 with our LinkedIn services, we delegated from the start. We used a third-party provider for about 4.5 months or so who was running the LinkedIn services for us before we took it in-house. And I started hiring people to do it with our own company without using a third-party provider. So now that I'm starting again from scratch with a new service offering, I'm doing it myself right now because my intentions are different, right? I want to be known as one of the best in this specific service. I want to be known as like a very lethal email copywriter, email marketer, right? That's me personally. If you want to be known in your space for a certain service or a certain niche or a certain type of skill, then I would say you can start day one doing it yourself first and learning how to do it yourself. That being said, it takes a lot longer for you to get to cash flow because you're not focused on sales as much. You're splitting your time between learning the skill and fulfillment with the actual sales portion. And sales by itself it's a skill in its own, and it takes a lot of time to hone and practice and get good at. So if you're splitting your time between those two things, it's a lot more difficult. But since now I have I have a good background in sales. I've sold, dozens of different clients and hundreds or thousands of different customers at this point on my info products. I have a good background in sales. I have a good background in marketing, and it's fairly quick for me to get ramped up on a new service offering or just a new product offering as well. So back to your question, would I delegate from the beginning? If you want to get to cash flow very quickly, delegate from day one. If you want to learn how to do it and become known in your industry or be able to know what service you're talking about, have more confidence in your sales calls, then you can learn how to do it from the beginning, but it's just going to take a lot longer for you to get to cash flow. Kiat. Oh, there's some good questions here today. So Kiat, 1 second. I love this. Love these questions. If I may just add to Kevin Cavaco's point on building an audience, how do you strike the balance between offering value, adding content, and asking for a sale? Awesome question. So the master at this, actually there's two masters. There's two people I learned from on how to do this. And what do they call it now? There was a word they used for it. I don't really know how to do this, but they always, if you notice that I do the same thing, if you're on my email list, but I'm always mixing value with promotion, right? So I will provide content, I will provide value, but I always ask for the sale at the end. There's always some kind of ask for a sale or something that leads the person onto a sale. For example, the email when I send out for Quaranstreams is to get people to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's not a sale right away. But when people watch my videos, they get put onto retargeting lists for any ad campaigns that I have. There's links in all my videos that are selling my products and my services and my offerings. And there's also times in my videos where I talk about my products and my services and my offerings. So you can either be leading someone to the sale or offering someone the sale at the end of whatever, if it's a post on Facebook, if it's an email, if it's a post on any other social media platform as well. I always have some kind of call to action at the end that either leads them to a sale or offers them the sale right there. Now, how do you offer value? You want to give the people an appetizer, but not the main course, right? So you want to tell someone, you want to, of course, give them some insights. You want to tell them what to do, but you don't want to tell them the step-by-step how to do it, right? So on a lot of these streams and stuff, I tell you, like, you should build an audience, right? For example, today, you should build an audience. It's very important. You should build it on these platforms: Facebook, YouTube, email. But I don't tell you exactly. Step one is to set up your Facebook groups. Step two is to set up these questions, right? So that's an example. I'm giving you the appetizer, not the main course. I'm telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to do it, right? If you want to know exactly how to do it, I have products and services and, offerings that help you to do the step-by-step stuff, right? So I'm still providing value. I'm still telling you guys, I'm giving you guys like aha moments and getting your brain juices flowing, but I'm not giving you the step-by-step, do this, and then do this, right? Hope that makes sense. So I always blend promotion and value with asking, or I'm always combining value with asking for a sell. There's always a mix of both in there. The two guys, by the way, that I learned from is Ben Settle and Matt Fury. Those are the two guys that are just absolutely masters at doing that. Okay. Planning this off at Pranav. So Yair says, why concentrate on one platform if you can send the same content in several? If you're just getting started, Yair, you're gonna overwhelm yourself if you're trying to manage like 3 different platforms at once, right? So what I did was I just started building up my Facebook group first, and then I launched my YouTube channel, and then I launched my email list, and now I have all 3 working together. So if you try to start all 3 at once, it can be done, but you're going to be pretty overwhelmed if you're like a brand spanking newbie. Kia, this is a long-winded question, so I can't answer this one. Can you share some effective strategies on leads nurturing? My most effective way of nurturing is just being consistent. I post every day on my email list. I post 2 times a week on YouTube, and I post around 3 times a week in my Facebook group. So how do I nurture leads? I am just showing up multiple times per week and every day on my email list. Alexia says, hey, Sean, I'm a really big fan of your videos and products. I have a question. What would be a good idea to offer lead gen? Would it be a good idea to offer a lead gen service for SMMA agency owners to help them get more high quality leads? Yeah, that's if you're helping agency owners get leads and appointments, yeah, that's definitely a good service to offer. Yair says, do you think dropshipping is dead? Please explain. By the way, I think it really does not just get harder. I don't do dropshipping, so I'm not going to explain. Pranav. I had a client for whom I set up and managed Facebook ads. The freelancer I hired made very good ads and generated ROAS of 5, but the client opened an issue with PayPal, and PayPal refunded his money and banned my account. Now I want to know how I can sue him or get my money back, as I paid the freelancer for his time. Pranav, I haven't had that happen personally. That sounds messed up. I'm sorry you're going through that. I don't have an answer for that. I would say if you have an agreement, which I hope you do, if you had him sign an agreement, you can show that to PayPal and try to get your money back. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't tell you how to sue a person. But if you have an agreement that you guys signed, you can provide that to PayPal, like file a dispute with PayPal, show them the agreement, and sometimes it can get overturned. I've never had that happen. That's sounds like a pretty shitty person. Okay, last thing from Kiat here. Ben Settle and Matt Fury. F-U-R-E-Y. Yep, those are the two guys. They're masters at blending value and promotion. Okay, that's it for today's Quaranstream, guys. If you are not, by the way, in my Facebook group, make sure you join that. There's going to be a link in the description. Also, if you want to join my Tribe of Profits membership program, it's kind of like my online school. It teaches you, I teach you business skills to help you build a successful, high profit, high impact, highly scalable online business. Go to tribeofprofits.com and you can sign up there. We're going to have a new masterclass that's launching next week around niche and market research mastery and some foundational copywriting stuff. So if you guys are on this right now, you're already in the tribe. Hope you're looking forward to the next masterclass launching next week. And for anyone that's not in the tribe that wants to get in, it's super, I think it's super cheap, but I'm biased. It's $47 a month right now until we hit 100 members, and it goes up by $10 a month until we reach around $97 a month. And I'll cap it off there. But tribeofprofits.com, if you guys want to join that, new masterclass launches next week around niche and market research mastery and foundational copywriting. And for all of my tribe members, I will see you guys in the group, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys.